Hey everyone, let's just dive right in. Welcome to this explainer where we're going to unpack a seriously transformative framework today. We are exploring the architecture of execution, overcoming mental excuses. Look, if you've ever found yourself setting these incredible goals, mapping out the absolute perfect plan, but then, completely hitting a brick wall when it's actually time to do the work, well, this presentation is definitely for you. Think of this as your definitive, crystal-clear playbook for translating your good intentions into actual tangible results. We're going to look strictly at how the mind constructs these invisible barriers, and more importantly, exactly how we can tear them down. So here's our roadmap for the explainer today. 1. The myth of discipline. 2. Execution over emotion. 3. Daily habits for discipline. 4. The daily execution checklist. 5. Shattering limiting stories. And finally, 6. Meeting your true self. All right, kicking things off with section 1, the myth of discipline. Society often tells us that discipline just means forcing yourself to work like a machine, right? Just grinding away without a single thought or feeling. But the source material gives us a completely different and honestly much more powerful lens to look through. Discipline is simply the moment excuses lose their authority over your decisions. I want you to really lock onto that word, authority. Discipline is almost always completely misunderstood as just forcing yourself to work harder until you literally burn out. But in reality, it's just about revoking the power of your excuses. The excuse might still be rattling around in your head, sure, but it no longer gets to sit in the driver's seat. It loses its authority over what you actually choose to do next. Moving right along to section 2. Execution over emotion. So we all face this core daily conflict. It's that constant, nagging negotiation with discomfort and our deeply ingrained human instinct to rely on our feelings before we take any action. On one side, we have this comfort-seeking habit, which is waiting to feel motivated, confident, or, ready. Most people negotiate with discomfort every single day, just waiting for the perfect feelings to arrive before doing anything. But on the other side, that is where the growth happens. It's doing what needs to be done despite the resistance. Actually, think about it like this. Every single time you choose the comfort of waiting to feel ready, you're actually training your mind to become weaker. Conversely, every time you act despite that internal resistance, you strengthen your mind. You are actively training your own psychological resilience. Because here is the absolute truth. Life doesn't reward intentions, it rewards execution. You can have the absolute best intentions in the world to write a novel, launch a business, or finally get into shape. You can sit around and wait for that perfect, magical wave of motivation to hit you. But the reality of this framework is stark and it's clear. The world honestly doesn't care what you meant to do. It only recognizes the work you actually shipped. Execution must always override mere intention. Which brings us to section 3, daily habits for discipline. Okay, it's time to shift from the theory of mindset into our actionable toolkit. What are the specific day-to-day habits of those who manage to achieve extraordinary results? The source material lays out 3 vital daily habits for us. Step 1, stop negotiating with discomfort. When that 5 a.m. alarm goes off or that daunting project is just sitting on your desk, the debate is over before it even begins. No more filibustering with your snooze button. Step 2, override the mind's instinct for shortcuts. The human mind is constantly, naturally searching for the easiest path out. People who achieve extraordinary results, they simply learn to override that natural biological instinct. And, step 3, choose growth over comfort. By systematically making these 3 choices day in and day out, you are literally rewiring your brain to become stronger. High achievers totally drop the question, how do I feel today? They just toss it out. They don't take their emotional temperature every morning. It literally does not matter if they feel tired, uninspired, or stressed. Instead, they pivot directly to what must be done. It's a game changer because it removes the emotion from the execution completely, and it clears a path straight to action. Next up, section 4, the daily execution checklist. To help you formalize that pivot we just talked about, here is your mental anchor. This is what keeps you moving forward when both internal forces and external circumstances are screaming at you to stop. When your emotions say stop, your only execution check is, did I keep moving? When external circumstances say stop, your check is, did I override the instinct for a shortcut? And when unexpected setbacks say stop, your check is, did I do what must be done? Remember, discipline is not about becoming some unfeeling machine. It's about checking these execution boxes regardless of your emotional state. The excuse itself is entirely irrelevant. Forward momentum is literally your only metric of success here. Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, shattering limiting stories. This right here brings us into the absolute deepest psychological layer of the source material. If execution is simple on paper, why is it so incredibly hard in practice? Well, here is a profound realization. Your limits are rarely physical. They are stories your mind has repeated until you accepted them as facts. I want you to really let that sink in for a second. The boundaries you think you have, they aren't real. They're repeated fictions. You've told yourself, I'm not a morning person, or I'm just not good under pressure, so many times that you've surrendered to it as if it's some physical law of the universe. But it's just a story. And the beautiful thing is, stories can be rewritten the exact moment you decide to stop obeying them.
And finally, Section 6, meeting your true self.
So what actually happens when you finally stop obeying those fictional stories? What's waiting on the other side of that resistance? The text tells us that the moment you stop obeying those stories and start acting despite them, you discover a version of yourself that most people never get to meet. Real strength begins when you become harder to break, not when life gets easier. We spend so much of our time wishing for life to present fewer obstacles, right? Wishing for circumstances to align perfectly. But the ultimate takeaway from this whole framework is that strength isn't the absence of difficulty. It is the fortification of your own mind. You become the immovable object. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to challenge you directly with the ideas we've just uncovered. Ask yourself right now, what limiting story have you accepted as fact? I strongly encourage you to genuinely think about this today. Try to identify the specific excuse you have handed unearned authority to. Is it a story about your lack of time, your skills, your energy? Whatever it is, name the fiction. And to close us out, I want to leave you with this one provocative thought. Who do I become when I stop obeying my excuses? If life rewards execution and discipline is simply stripping excuses of their authority, then your potential is entirely dictated by your willingness to act through resistance. The blueprint is right here. The architecture is sound. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.